actually do CPR to the tune of that song? It's good! How are classes going? And you guys just got off of some type of break? Okay. We just did the hot chili pepper. And there's the ramen cup. We're actually going to do the little Fallout Boy Try Hard Friends before we do the ramen cup, because he's part of the logo. Oh, spring break is ending this weekend. Okay. It's good you're passing everything, but are you having a good time taking in the college experience? I mean, pretty experienced at it already, I'm sure, but... I am tired. This week has been a lot. Nothing particularly interesting happened. It's just been a lot. Hey, that's awesome! Don't party too much. Don't miss out on anything fun, but don't party too much. I did almost no partying in college, and I lived at the party house. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry if I sound a little extra sarcastic. Can that even happen? There you go. Yeah, I've never done a lot of parties, but the few that I have, we died. We all died. There have been nights. There was one time, so I used to get terrible hangovers back when I drank alcohol regularly. I also did not drink water. So I would get these awful hangovers. And I remember the first time I drank and woke up without a hangover. I was like, this is amazing! I was still drunk from the night before. Hi, Livid Lemming! How have you been? I can't believe it's only been like a couple of weeks since I've been here. It feels like it's been longer. But yeah, so the one time I woke up not hungover, I was still drunk. And then there was another time I woke up so hungover that I got out of bed, stumbled over to the couch where my friend had been sleeping on. She sat up and kind of was barely awake. And she had severe insomnia, so it was amazing that she slept at all. And we just kind of leaned up against each other, wrapped up in blankets, and then fell back asleep. Just leaning against each other. Hi, Ventus! Hi. Oh, I'm sorry you had to wait so long. If I had known, I would have sped up time for you. I don't know how, but I would have done it. I have a watch now, I can do that. I was hoping that wearing a watch would make my sense of time better, and then one day this week I was talking about art about I can't even remember what we were talking about, but I was like, oh, well, we did that same thing a couple of days ago. He's like, a couple days ago? Yeah, a couple days ago. He's like, that was yesterday. So that's just a small example of how terrible my sense of time is. But happy Friday. I hope everyone has been having a good week, or had a good week, and that you have fun, exciting weekend plans, or no plans at all, because doing nothing on the weekend is the best. No! A loss of pride? Was it the Digimon that you used for your Fitbit? Was it that Digimon? How did it die? It lost a battle? It died in battle. How do you battle with that Digimon? What do you do now? Do you have to go walking a bunch again? He lost 3 battles and then he died. Sounds like he might have died from embarrassment of losing so many in a row. Did Digimon do that? Okay. You know, I think Pokemon tried to do that at one point. Before Pokemon Go, didn't they have Pokeball, step trackers that you would hook to your belt? And then you could then plug it into your DS or whatever. And based on how much you walked, it would level up your Pokemon. I think also if you had your console in control. The Pokewalker. Demon Bait and Catgirl, we're still doing emotes! We are on a ban for sexy ladies until emotes are done. This is my big project. I have to finish it. How have you been, Absortio? They had special Pokemon you could find through it. They really were just prepping us for Pokemon Go, weren't they? Nintendo was like, we gotta get ready. We don't have the tech for it now, but in like 5 years, it's gonna happen. We are cat girl-less. This is a self-imposed ban. Not gonna lie, it feels very similar to the people who will do No Nut November. It's like, why? Why? And now I kind of understand why. Artist ban. I don't know if you're talking about Try Hard Friends art or my art. Artist ban. No, I can't do that. I have to finish emotes and then we're drawing mermaids to get ready for mermaid. Because I'm not gonna fall behind this year. Watch me fall behind this year. But I'm not gonna fall behind this year. The answer is yes. Art didn't start this band. This band. Art also did not start a band. Art and the Artling. That sounds terrifying. Mermaids! That's not totally inaccurate. I have banned people from the stream before. I have forgotten how to do it. It was back when I first started streaming and I got a lot more trolls. Because I was streaming very late at night. And apparently the trolls are nocturnal. So I figured out very quickly how to ban people. But I don't have to do that anymore. And I've forgotten how. So don't be mean to me. No bullying. No bullying, or I'm gonna have to relearn how to technology. And I'm not ready for that. I don't want to learn that. I saw a meme the other day, and it was like, I didn't understand why my parents didn't want to learn how to use their cell phones. But now that I'm older, every time a new piece of tech comes out, I'm just like, I do not want to learn that. And that's my entire life. So I used to know. Yeah, that's pretty much like, I'm not gonna lie, if I don't use something every single day, my brain will just forget how to do it. Like, I can read a map, I can, but now that I have a GPS, I don't, and I forget how to do it sometimes. It's no longer a necessary function. I no longer have to do it, and it drives Art insane. I can read an analog watch. I can read a map. I can read a map. You just don't like the way I read maps. I'm not lying. What color should we make Art's hand? I'm torn between making it white like a cartoon glove or making it like the same color as the rest of his skin. I'm gonna go all out for mermaid this year. Hi Gecko, how are you? But I'm gonna go all out. I'm gonna do more than one like big background piece. It's going to be epic. It's gonna be mermaids, so it's gonna be basically the same as everything, but there'll be new mermaids. So you can't say I don't have variety. But yeah, I don't know if we should make Art's hand white or if we should make it like the skin color. Help me decide. I guess we'll just have to see. Sometimes when I have an idea and I'm not sure how to color it, I will do like the base colors for both and I'll see how I like them. I did that once for a mermaid that I did. She was like cuddling a squid. It was for a Patreon, not safe for work thing. Anyway, tentacles. And I was like, I don't know if I should make her have a blue tail or a yellow tail because the colors like kind of both worked really well. They just gave a different type of feeling. I eventually went with like the steely blue one, but I base colors with the yellow, and the yellow still looked really good. Like I still have that base. So maybe someday I will redo her and I'll do her in yellow. I think I might do some buff mermen. I am not good at drawing, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Women are very soft. They have lots of curves, and I can do that. I can draw lots of circles. For guys, it's a lot of rectangles, and I still haven't figured it out. I still have to figure out the rectangles. I should draw mermen too, though, because I like to use the drawing challenges like Inktober and Mermaid as also ways to exercise things that I am not good at. What I usually do with Mermaid is I practice drawing my backgrounds because I don't do a lot of backgrounds. I like to draw a lot more figures and central objects. But I should also draw guys, and I can use Mermaid to help me practice drawing guys and backgrounds. So mermen and backgrounds. There will also be mermaids because they're soup. And who doesn't like food? I enjoy them. I think they're quite nice. Anyways, this glove. Should it be a glove or should it be a hand? Cast your votes. Text. Don't text. I was trying to do like an American Idol. Text A for contestant A or B for color white. If you... God, I don't know what I'm doing right now. Do I remember the heyday of American Idol and texting in to vote? No, I don't. I really don't. Hand? You want it? It's hand. Text hand to 411 to cast your vote. That's hand, H-A-N-D, to 411 to cast your vote. Please don't text that. I don't know whose phone number that is. That might be emergency services in some other place. I know that in the UK, to call emergency services, it's 999. Hand? You want it hand colored? I can do hand colored. But what color is the hand? Okay. We're doing it. We're just gonna do skin, and then we'll do another layer where I do it as white. I just feel like if I make it like skin, it looks weirdly deformed. But if I make it a glove, then it reminds people of Mickey Mouse. They're like, oh, it's a glove. Right? That makes sense. Okay, jigsaw. Okay, so when I drew these cheek swirls, part of my brain was like, it looks like the creepy puppet that drives around on a tricycle and makes people do puzzles. I was like, I don't know who that is because I've never seen that movie. Jigsaw. It was called, the evil puppet was Jigsaw. You're right. It does remind me of that. Ah. Thank you so much, Gecko. Ah. That was bothering me a lot for a very long time. Pick the color that I have. Did you like that idea? With the no! Just wanted to pick up the color. Son of a bitch. There we go. Do you like the idea of the white gloves or the jigsaw hands? Not jigsaw hands. White glove hands or jigsaw cheeks. There we go. I moved the stream to 7:30 so I would remember to eat. And it worked! I do D&D on Wednesdays at 7:30, and I barely have time to eat before that. Which is fine, like I have enough time, I just don't have enough time to like eat and then also be lazy, which is good, because if I'm too lazy right after I eat, I'll just go to bed. Do you ever have that happen where you eat a big meal and you're like, alright, I'm gonna do all these things, and then instead you take a nap? I try not to have that be the end of my day, but sometimes that ends up being the end of my day where I'm like, I'm gonna go do a bunch of stuff after I eat dinner. And then I eat a bunch of food for dinner. I'm like, I lied, I'm gonna take a nap. And that nap ends up being bedtime. That's how I went to bed at 7 o'clock last night. That is a true story. Did you guys know they sell giant cans of Nos? I did not. Not until last week. And I'm very happy that they do. It's my favorite energy drink. I did not know that Nos was also like a... I think it's like an engine lubrication... company. I thought they just sold energy drinks. Oh, the gloved Mickey hands. Oh, the jigsaw. Okay. We are all over the place in the first 10 minutes of the stream now, aren't we? Okay, the gloved Mickey hand. I'm thinking gloved Mickey hand too. We're gonna try it out and see. First we're gonna do the tongue. Lip comas are beautiful, but they're also so bad. They're not good for me. Nope, that's not the colored tongue I want. There we go. Oh no, this is also not the colored tongue I want. Nah, it's okay. Okay. Love face. We're not gonna do straight white. We are going to do a slightly off white. Because let's do that blue white that I have. Yeah, actually, I want it to be warmer. I don't want it to be a blue white. I'm gonna make it a kind of like yellow white. Because food science, I shouldn't have to do food science with this because they're emotes, but they're ramen based emotes, and this is a little like ramen logo emoji emote. It is. And what you don't want on your food are blue and green colors because our brains see them as unnatural. Oh, actually not green. Green is for lettuce. What was it? Oh, it's blue and red. You don't want a lot of red because they usually mean poison, and you don't want a lot of blue because it usually means bitter. Like, that's part of color science and really dumb. But people do it anyway. Like, have you ever looked at a container of Spam? Oh, I hate it. Oh, what have I done? What is this monstrosity? I don't know how I feel about this. See, now I'm thinking it should just be the regular hand. We're gonna make it the regular hand color. The cheeks in the liner. Make them red. To be cute. Just be careful because the liner here bumps up against the thumb. A zombie art emo? Oh, was he a zombie on stream today? Hi Spectre, how you doing? Was he a zombie on stream? Maybe we could do like a sleepy zombie art emote. But maybe that would be like an emo he just does for Halloween. See, to stop myself from being a zombie, I drink a giant energy drink before the stream. Oh, he was causing trouble. Fun Halloween emotes! In my life, I hope it is Halloween all the time. Art says I'm not allowed to decorate the house with animal bones anymore. Anyways, how are you? Ugh. Okay. Now he really looks like Jigsaw. Jigsaw art the trainer. Maybe we lower the oh, that's not good. Nope, they're gonna stay fluorescent. And now, I'm gonna worked? What's going on? You're... Speak to me, Spectre. Okay. I'm gonna set this to multiply. We're gonna do some more simple shading. Light source is over here. I'm also trying to make the light source kind of the same for all of the emotes. I feel like I had it slightly. Yeah, I think that was the shading that I did. Can't remember what the V button is. Okay. Yes, I'm trying to make the shading the same. Anyway. Work problem. Oh, I'm sorry that you've been having work problems. The news has been bad, and I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to cry right now. I won't cry. I actually have this weird, terribly hard time with crying to a point where, unless I am actively, like, very rare do I have a meltdown. When I do, oh boy, they are a doozy. Anyway, the only other way I can cry is essentially if I'm watching something or reading something where I'm empathizing with the character, and then my brain is like, it's alright to shed tears over this, for they are not for you. And yeah. Anyway, I don't want to feel like I'm gonna cry. That's what it is. Yep. I don't want to watch the news or talk about it right now because I don't want to feel like I'm gonna cry. I've had enough of that. I've had enough. I am drawing a cute, chibi, chubby face art. Oh, I feel like a lot of people have that problem. Oh, that's fair. I've just had a lot of people try to talk about it with me, and I'm like, why do you want to? Why? No. Trying to think about other things to talk about now. Anyway, I like the new Mountain Dew flavors. I've had the melon one, and the blue raspberry one, and the lemonade one. The blue raspberry and the lemonade one are my favorites so far. The melon one is okay. It tastes like a watered down Jolly Rancher, and I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's still good. The first time I ever had a NOS, I didn't know what NOS was. I didn't know it existed. It's not that popular over on the east side of Michigan. From what I remember, it was mostly just Monster. But anyway, so I was I was in college. I think it was my 3rd or 4th year, and I was in a community college actually for my gen eds, just to try and take them, a few of them over the summer or something to kind of just save some money, which was fine. And they had a vending machine. They were a much older building than the university that I normally went to. So I had the only vending machines they had in this 5-floor building was on the 5th floor. And the elevators were always super crowded, and they were also on the other side of the building from the vending machines. So if I wanted to make it in time for my class, in between the 2 gen eds I was taking, and get an energy drink, I had to essentially run up 5 flights of stairs. Fucking hated it. And I pushed the button for a Monster, and instead a NOS comes out, and I had never seen one of these before, and I was like, what is this? And none of my friends had ever had one before, so they were like, we don't know. Being on time, I get really anxious about being late. I get real anxious about it to a point where I am the person who would show up 30 minutes early for class, and then I would just like sit somewhere within like eyesight of the doorway, so that as soon as it opened and the other class came out, I would remember to go into my class. I had that happen once, and I sat outside the class thinking that I was 30 minutes early. I was like 10 minutes late. So my class was going on, and I was waiting for that class to get out so I could go into class, and I was like, I am so dumb. The professor was not happy with me. I get super anxious about being late. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna try to calm down a little bit because I feel like I've been talking really fast. All of that, no. Actually, I did only get this a couple hours ago, and I only have like a third of it left. And it's one of the big ones. How many ounces is it? 24. That's actually not that much. 24 fluid ounces is like just a little bit more than a large coffee. Or like a medium soda. I'm trying to go down to like 1 energy drink a week. And I've been pretty good about it. I drink energy drinks for my stream so I can be awake for you guys. So again, I went to bed at 7 last night. That is terrifying. How did you not die? That's even more than what I would have. I have been told I might be a little addicted to caffeine. And by told, I mean Art has gotten upset at me about the amount of caffeine I drink. And by might have, I mean he has definitely told me I do. You choose not to drink caffeinated beverages. Every time you're like, I'm so tired, I'm like, do you want some of my energy drink? Would you like me to make you coffee? Do you want caffeinated tea? And you're like, no, I just drink water. Like, no, do not put this on. No, stop it. That is a little bit of your own fault. There are stimulants. Aww, I'm imagining a baby. So don't tell me that he's older. I'm imagining an adorable baby. You don't drink caffeine. It's Mr. Redacted. Aww. You essentially refuse caffeine. I live off of it. To a point where when I went off for college, like within, I want to say it was like my second year at college, I was texting my brother. And he would have been, I think he would have been like just starting middle school. And I was texting him in the morning before I had coffee. And all of a sudden he's just like, he texts me, did you have coffee yet? I was like, no. Why? He's like, I'm not talking to you until you have coffee. And he wouldn't respond to any of my messages after that. Aww. That's so like my brother was a little bit of an asshole. He was just like, no. He still won't. He still like won't message me in the morning at all. Because he says that I'm just too, he's like, he says it's too hard to talk to me when I don't have caffeine. And it's not that I am annoying or a bitch. It's more just like I have such a hard time focusing and remembering even what was just said to me. Until I am caffeinated. So I am kind of a monster in the mornings. All of my cousins are older now. None of them are cute babies anymore. Because I'm the oldest grandchild and great-grandchild. So if there are gonna be any more babies, they're going to be mine, and I'm not ready for that. The world's not ready for me to have kids. It would be little monsters. Anyway. Trying to make this cheek as chubby as possible and show that with the shading. Oh, that's so cute. probably the best thing in the world as a kid was getting carried to bed. Or how big adult beds seemed to be when I was little. So my grandmother has a king-size bed. And it's a huge fucking bed. But when I was very small and would sometimes when I stayed over there, she'd let me take a nap in her bed rather than in like the little bed that I had there. And it was amazing. There was bed for miles. I could essentially do like a full 360 rotation rolling on that bed twice before falling off of it. It was amazing. It was the greatest. She also, so the foot of her bed, she had a very, very old wooden bed, or bed frame. And the foot of the bed was like lined up with the mattress. No, I didn't. I was not alive when they had the water bed. That's just when they've had the normal bed. But the bed that they have, my grandmother, she, at the foot of the bed, the foot, it's not the footrest. I think it's just called like the foot of the bed. Anyway, it lines up, the top of it lines up with the mattress, and it's this flat, wooden kind of like beam. Oh shit, I don't want that. So I would try to like teach myself, air quotes, how to walk on a tightrope by walking on this super polished, slippery, like 3-inch wide piece of wood. Like the sides were beveled, like it wasn't even sharp. I can't tell you how many times I like crashed and almost broke my face. Cause I wasn't allowed to do it. She would come in the room and she would get mad at me because I would almost die. And she'd be like, no, what are you doing? Don't do that. I'm like, look, Grandma, I can't. Doing it in socks was the most dangerous. Because it was like running on hardwood floors with socks on. But at any point you could fall and crack a knee, or a skull, or chip a tooth. Oh, but it was so fun. And then I think my brother tried doing it when he was very young, and I think he actually like smacked his chin a little bit. He didn't really hurt himself. It was just enough that we were banned from being near the bed. I can't believe my grandmother had a waterbed. I just learned that today. Fun fact. If you go to family gatherings and you're real quiet, you'll learn some interesting stuff about your grandparents. Things that I would have never guessed. Like that they had a waterbed. Wow. No! It's on the wrong layer! Yep. I am gonna do this. Fade it out a little bit. And then I'll probably do a second layer of more shading. Oh! That's pretty cool. I thought she just, I thought just some bed frames came that way as giant wooden boxes. I do remember one of my favorite things to do when I was very small, because I was very short, and this bed frame is like, in my brain, the bed frame, the head of the bed frame, because it's also got like giant mirror attached to it and like cabinet in the head of the bed frame. In my brain, it's like 10 feet tall, but I've been looking looking up at that thing since I was a toddler. So it's probably more like, maybe like 5 feet tall. It's tall. It reaches almost to the ceiling. And when I was very little, I discovered that there was a window behind it, which just blew my mind. Because I was always too short, and then one day I just jumped high enough on the bed, and I saw like light peeking out from above the head of the bed, and I kind of climbed up there a little bit, without my grandmother seeing, obviously. And, yeah, there was a window, and my favorite thing to do was to try to peek out this window, which for some reason I thought was a window to somewhere else, not to the backyard, where all the other windows faced. Like, how did my child brain was like really dumb. I had never even read or heard of Narnia, but for some reason, that's where my brain went. I was like, it's a magical world. It's a secret magical window to some other world behind the bed. I had a waterbed. Oh my god. I've been on a waterbed once. That's what they call it when you're a child, and then as an adult they call you crazy. Anyway, I've been on a waterbed once, and it's not the fun story everyone is expecting. So, my neighbor and best friend in grade school, his older brother had a waterbed. And wait, stop, don't. He also only had the only like game consoles in the house. So when his brother was not using the game consoles, we were allowed to go into the room as long as we kept the door open and play video games on the game consoles and sit on the waterbed. We were only allowed to sit on the edge of the waterbed because they didn't trust us children not to poke holes in it. They're like cats. They have claws everywhere. I don't know. That was what we were allowed to do. So that's the 1 or 2 times I've been on a waterbed. I thought they were weird. Actually, as a kid, people were like, people like the sound of waterbeds because of the ocean, right? And all I could think about was, how do you not have to pee all the time? How do you not sleep on a waterbed and have to pee constantly? I can't listen to ocean noises going to sleep. One, because for some reason every ocean noise playlist is insanely loud. But 2, because after a little while I'm like, I have to. Maybe it's just me and my tiny bladder. I forgot to put a shadow to show the fat cheek up against the rest of the face. How could I do that? Am I super happy with how the shading came out? Is it okay? Yes. Is it passable? Yeah. It's okay. And I'm about to do more shading on another layer anyways. It's actually getting insanely warm in this video. I have to take off my sweatshirt. So I have to take off my hood. Okay, headphones are back on. Computer is totally not overheating right now. Save. Oh, okay. Give me 1 moment. Having some technical difficulties. difficulties pretty much resolved. I was just, computer was not having a good time. Woo! I'm not having any of this snowing, not snowing, almost snowing, not snowing business that the weather has been doing lately. I'm not. We had like a 20-minute blizzard today. What is that bullshit? I'm having none of it. So glad the weather listens to me and decides that if I'm having none of it, it will stop. If I get upset enough, the weather will listen to me. Right? That's how it works. Really? How much snow do you guys have? Isn't this your second year with like a lot of snow? We legitimately had a 20-minute blizzard today. We were on our way home, and it had just started like lightly snowing. The wind was picking up. It was getting a little bad. 10 minutes in, it's like almost whiteout conditions. The roads are fine because the snow hasn't had time to build up. So, snow hasn't had time to build up, so the roads are fine, but visibility is awful. And then within another 10 minutes, it's a complete whiteout. Like, we can only see like a few feet in front of our fucking car. And we're on the goddamn highway. And then within another 20 minutes after that, the sun's out. The sun's out and everything's fine. And I'm so angry about it. Did you buy a shovel? No shovel. Did you buy a snow shovel, Vating? Did you guys own one before these snowstorms? Do you have kitty litter in the back of your car along with blankets and granola bars in case you get stranded? You should. You still don't sell them? Really? What did you guys do? When you needed to get your car out of the driveway, what did you do? Well, yeah, but last year, what did you do to get your car out of the driveway? Because you sent me pictures. Those were like, yeah, we just shut down. How dare we have to go out and shovel this weird white powdery stuff? They'll just turn off everything. You just shut everything down. Oh my god. This is insane. I can't get over it. I cannot. Yeah, I'm sure that there's some like glaring blind spot that I have in my weather preparedness from living in Michigan for so long. And Gacko, I'm sure, is over. That's 2004! That's what. Oh god! I know people who were born then! Oh god! So. I think you guys should still have, like, bought an emergency snow shovel. You can get one off of Amazon. You can get little ones that, like, are foldable and you just keep them in your car all year long. Compact. Did you have to buy a coat? Did you buy a coat? Doesn't it sound so nice? I can't live in a place without the cold though, because my hatred of the cold is less than my fear of large bugs. You already have a heavy coat. What is your definition of a heavy coat? How many linings does it have? What is it made of? Like, you're saying that you've never owned a snow shovel. I'm a little wary as to what you think a heavy coat is. Essentially, you have to... You bought a winter cap, insulated gloves, snow boots. Good. Snow boots. It's just a coat, but heavy. That's not what a heavy coat is. Essentially, if you want to survive in Michigan, you have to skin an animal and wear it, and I'm not kidding. The warmest coats usually have like duck feather down. But, and you just, oh God. Okay, I have a weirder question, which you may not understand, Fading. But I need you to answer me as best as you can. Do people in the southern state, do you guys wear... It's a tundra for like 9 months out of the year. Anyway, do people in the south, do they wear, I can't remember what the brand name is, but it's like Northco maybe? But all of their stuff is fuzzy. Like it's all thermal fuzzy sweatshirt thing. Right? Girls usually wear them, but some guys will too. Do people in the south also wear them? I need to know. You don't own anything fuzzy. I gotta tell you, it's hard to buy something here in Michigan, especially during the wintertime, that isn't fuzzy to some degree. We just love the fuzz. You don't have anything fuzzy. Not even you. Okay. Are your sweatshirts, do they have like the fake like Sherpa fuzzy thermal lining? Like, are they soft? When you touch them, are you like, this could be the fur of an animal? Because that's almost every sweatshirt here. Okay, so you have the fuzzy. That's fuzzy. People here wear those like almost year round. Okay. Maybe ours are longer then. People wear those here almost year round because even in the summertime when it's god awful fucking hot, a lot of people have the air turned up so high it's cold. You sleep in them? They're made for the outside. Can you buy flannel sheets down in Tennessee for warmth? Like they're, like a flannel shirt, but they make them into sheet material. And we sleep in between them for warmth. They're so comfy. It's amazing. Like, it's like you're sleeping on like a cloud. Like, they somehow make the bed softer. They usually come in like the plaid, like flannel colors. They're also much more expensive than other sheets. Maybe it's because they only have like a Midwest and East Coast market. They have to make them more expensive because they can only sell them on certain times of the year. This is amazing. Because we also get insane summers here too, where it gets to be like 98 degrees. And it's super humid, and the sun's out, and I hate it. Oh God, I hate it. I hate weather. I was built to live inside. I do not. I outgrew them. They became too small for my head. And I still loved them, so I would take them out of the closet sometimes and I would pet them. And eventually my mom was like, you don't wear them. You can't wear them. They're taking up room in the closet. And she made me get rid of them. I was really upset about it. But that closet also ended up being super moldy. So they probably had mold in them anyways. It gets... that's terrible. We've had 100-degree days here, but it's been a very long time, I think, since that happened. The last time I remember it being 100 degrees was when I had to go out and be in it. And what happened was, okay. That makes me feel a little bit better. That, you know, the people in Eastern Tennessee probably own snow shovels. So, the last time I remember it being a 100-degree day, I think I would have been around 8 or 9 years old. And I only remember it because it's one of the few days where it got that hot and I couldn't be in a building with air conditioning. And that is because my mom's mother decided that was the day she was going to get her oil changed. And you can't turn on the car when you're getting your oil changed. And it took them 3 hours. And she would not roll down the windows because she did not like the smell of like the mechanical garage. And we couldn't turn on the air conditioning. She wouldn't roll down the windows, and we were in a hot, locked car. I am surprised we did not get heat stroke. That was before like people freaked out about you locking your kid in your car and them dying of heat stroke. We only had 1 bottle of water. And I know that it happened between the ages of probably like maybe 7 or 8. I'm sorry. Because my brother was not in the car. And we have a pretty big age gap. Because he definitely would have died. That's like baby killing scenario right there. And I hated it. It was awful. I think if I hadn't been so dehydrated by the end of it, I would have like broken down crying. Yep. And now I don't like going outside. I'm not saying there's a correlation, I'm just saying that maybe there is a correlation. Now I really wish I still had those earmuffs. Even if they wouldn't fit my head. Because they were cool. And I would still try to wear them. Yeah, I probably would. I hear that air conditioning is not something that everyone in the South has. I hear that it's kind of like one of those luxuries for you guys. You guys either just put up with it or not. I like 70 to 80 degrees. I like that. Honestly, like 65 or above is pretty comfy for me. I do like things a little bit chillier now. Like I like a good like 50-degree fall day with the sun out. That's nice for me. AC is something that most people have. Okay, I've been told that AC is something that people in the South don't usually have, but maybe it's just state by state. Because I think it would be necessary to not die. AC is something that almost everyone in Michigan has, to my understanding, because we also get super hot days and we are not as well equipped to deal with the heat. But another thing is that usually your AC and your heat are like one unit that's set up together, right? So you can't not have heat in Michigan. You have to have some form of heating system or you will die. Winter will come for you and you will die. I remember when I was in high school and we were learning about the different climates of different areas, and they're like, Michigan is a temperate climate. And they're like, temperate compared to what? You wear thin clothing and you stay hydrated. I mean, yeah, that's what we do too, but we'll still die. Like the people in the UP, which is the upper part of Michigan, it's that top part, that's also part of our state. See, I could see Tennessee being temperate. I could see that, because you guys stay around like the same baseline around the whole part of the year, right? Anyway, people in the UP, the Upper Peninsula, they grow beards for warmth. You can't just shave a beard that took you 3 years to grow for warmth to keep your neck and your face warm off for a 3-month-long summer. Oh, we do that. Michigan does that. Maybe temperate means that we have a lot of temperatures. our winters get into the negative. Our winters get in. I remember winters being a lot colder actually when I was younger. Like we'd go into the negatives and consistently stay in like -15 to -20 like, for a couple of weeks. Now we like barely crack like 15 degrees sometimes. We'll get down into like the single digits, but we don't go into the negatives as often at all. Now we're moving on to highlights. No. To a certain degree, we are all jealous of the men in Michigan who can grow thick, luscious beards for that added facial warmth. You have negative. Okay. Maybe you guys are becoming the temperate climate and Michigan is evening out. Michigan will become the new Tennessee by the end of this climate change when all the humans die. I know that I don't miss negative weather, like negative degrees, but part of my brain just now, you were like, oh, we get into the negatives more. And since I was just reminiscing about it, a small part of my brain was like, I miss when our state used to go into the negatives. No, I don't. No, I do not. I used to have to walk to and from school in that. No, I don't. I do not miss it. Brain, do not tell me that I miss it. I don't miss it. No one in their right mind would miss that. I was not someone who did snow sports. I liked building snowmen sometimes, and I was not good at snowball fights, but I enjoyed them. But my favorite part was getting really cold, so walking outside for 2 minutes, and then going back into the house for hot cocoa. Because if I shivered enough, my grandma would give me more hot cocoa. Oh, I loved it. So much heated chocolate. I have it in a special mug and everything. It was adorable. That's what I like about the cold and the snow. Soon you'll be like, how much kitty litter should I keep in the back of my car? I'm like, I don't remember. I took the blankets out 2 years ago. Put kitty litter in the back of your car, baby. That way, if you have to go out and your car gets stuck, you can use the kitty litter for traction. You put it down and try to get as much of it out of the wheels as possible, and it will help you get traction to help get your car stuck in the snow. Get it out of the snow. Yep. Kitty litter and blankets. I don't have kitty litter in the back of my car right now. I should, but I don't. I have 2 very, very large blankets though. So it evens out. They're just holidays? Nowadays. You can use your floor mats in a pinch, but what they don't tell you is that if you use your floor mats and you put them back into the car, they get wet and soggy and moldy, and then your girlfriend gets really mad. So mad. Because they make the car gross. Had 3 hours of snow. Your whole state would shut down. I want you to know that as middle schoolers in Michigan who walked to and from school in negative weather with like 2 feet deep snow in the suburbs, by the way, we weren't even the rural areas, which were worse. We made fun of this. We would hear about the whole state of Texas shutting down for half an inch of snow, and we'd be like, We're so much cooler than Texas. It was uphill both ways. With no shoes. No shoes allowed. If you wore shoes, you got made fun of. Bullied for owning shoes. Oh god. I have a short story about shoes about me losing interest in a guy because of shoes. So, when I was in high school, I had a huge crush on this guy. And he was very cool. He was very nice, very chill. I was talking to him one day, and he was like, you know, I think I'd like a girl who can wear Converse to with like a fancy dress. And I was like, that's not what you do. Like, no. You wear nice dress shoes with dresses. You don't understand. And then I stopped liking him. If you get half an inch. If Texas sees a little bit of sprinkling of snow, they're just like, nope, we're done. State of emergency. Shut the airports down. I remember seeing pictures of the amount of snow Texas got once when I was in middle school, and you could still see the grass underneath, and we died laughing. We laughed in Texas. Look, it's not like I was going out with him, okay? It's not like he knew I had a crush on him. I was just like lost interest, where I was like, you don't understand how hard it is to wear heels and how a girl might want to coordinate her outfit, and I feel like if I dressed up for you, I would not be appreciated. And then there we go. Didn't say any of that to him. He never knew any of this happened in my brain. I just decided I think I'm gonna no longer have romantic interest in you. Like, we stayed friends. That is probably the most shallow reason I've ever stopped having a crush on someone. Now I feel terrible about it. Even though I feel terrible that I was that shallow as a teenager, even though it wasn't that bad. Doomed! See, like it was like the point of that he would notice that, like, I guess in like his mind it might have been like, she's so punk rock and chill and casual, she doesn't need to dress up. I don't know. She puts comfort over looking nice. Okay, that's fine, you can do that, but still also like look nice. That's true. If I wear something extra nice, Art will not say anything for fear of the fact that he's noticed, but like in the wrong way. There have been times when I'm like, hey, do I look cute? That's what I do now, is if I think I look cute, I will ask Art opinion, because he won't lie to me. And then he's like, oh, I thought you dressed up differently or like looked extra cute, but I didn't want to say anything. That's true, as long as you have clean clothes, because there are guys who don't. Oh. The bar is so low. The bar is so low. Sometimes. I'm trying to add, like, so yes, I like that. Okay. My favorite comic book store in a tiny town in Michigan. They used to do like D&D nights, like hosted at the store, and Magic the Gathering nights. The owner of the store was kind of friends with my dad because my dad had been going there for forever. Like this man had known me since I could walk. He had to put a sign up about how you had to, if you wanted to participate, you had to have good hygiene, and if you didn't take care of yourself properly, or if you smelled bad, you'd get kicked out. And my dad kind of joked about the sign because it wasn't like a funny little like rhyme, so my dad didn't take it seriously because he was always very hygienic, clean kind of guy. But he brought it up to the owner at one point. He was like, have you ever actually had to enforce it? He was like, oh yeah. He was like, yeah, for once a month, sometimes more than once. He's like, yeah, these guys don't go out, these guys don't always go because the last time I went in there, the sign was gone, and it's been a few years. They've changed locations. But just be clean. That's for guys and girls. Just be a clean person. Just be clean. I feel like I'm being mean to people now. I'm lowering all of the opacity of everything by 10%. Because I don't like too much contrast. What I'm terrified of, one of the reasons why I keep up on my hygiene so much is because I am terrified of smelling bad and not knowing that I smell bad. This has never been a thing I've experienced myself. No. I'm not being mean. That's something I am terrified of, though. Is not being as clean as I think I am, I guess. That's also a good point. Another good point of trying to keep yourself clean is because it keeps you healthy and helps you not die from diseases. You know what we had a lot of for a while? Diseases. You know what helped get rid of them? Clean. Anyway. Oh, goodness. Okay. Now we can take this colored emote, which I'm not 100% super happy with. Actually, I would like to get rid of this eye shine. I don't like it. So bad. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is take this, and I'm going to pop over here. Come on. And there we go. What I should probably do is like this. No. No. Okay. I shine, I can do it.
Stitch the seams and pull the
Yeah.
lever, strange desire, sparks and wires. I sign the dotted line and tethered yours to mine, no anesthetic.
Not a song that I want. I'm gonna play this. Huh, it does look like the view you guys have of my art is way delayed and a little frozen. Is that accurate? Yeah, it is. Alright. Huh. Things are frozen and my moderator did not tell me. that I haven't drawn cat girls in a while. It's a sign. That's what I was saying. It's a sign to do cat girls. This stream is salty. Salty like cheap ramen. Oh look, it's catching up. It's like catching up in weird, slow frame rate time. Sunshine. We're almost back. Yay! Yep, we're just hanging out. Okay. It's okay. Anybody have fun weekend plans? I'm streaming tomorrow. Those are my weekend plans. Chores and streaming and cleaning. I'm gonna make spaghetti carbonara tomorrow. You know, if I get these emotes done, I'll draw cat girls tomorrow. Actually, the favorite, you're gonna sit at home and do nothing? That's still a nice weekend to me. That sounds amazing. I love sitting at home doing nothing. Honest to God, my idea of a perfect day is like getting takeout. I don't want it delivered. Like, if I do, actually, delivery is good now because you don't have to talk to them. So I want it delivered, no contact delivery. We just sit and we watch terrible movies and eat a ton of food and maybe some drinking. Go to bed 7 o'clock. Perfect date night. Potentially the delivery is Little Caesars Pizza because they started doing delivery for the pandemic. It finally caught up! Okay. Let's try this. Is it capturing my mouth? Let me just... Whoop. Nope, it is not. Alright, we're still waiting. I don't know if anyone here has hair long enough to put in a bun, but I've had my hair in a bun all day and it makes my scalp hurt. It's apparently a normal thing. I got worried. Like, is something wrong with my hair? Nope. The more I have to look at this chibi art, the more I'm like, hey, what if we drew realistic again? Maybe that's what we'll do for next one. Yep. Deep diving into D&D stuff. Is it for our campaign? Because that's Art's entire life right now. I need you to know. The second D&D ends, he has like a countdown in his head to when the next session of our D&D campaign starts, and he loves to tell me the timing of it and tell me all about the. I like D&D. I don't love it as much as you do, and it scares me. Okay, did it finally catch up? Did it do the thing? Whoop. I'm like testing it by essentially just drawing a scribble over my own art. Oh, look. Oh, you guys are back. The campaign is pretty amazing. It is so far the best D&D campaign I've ever done. And the longest running D&D campaign I've ever done. Most of the campaigns I'm in end after like the 4th or 5th session. So, it's fantastic. And it's the most fun I've had playing D&D ever. I have been told that I don't get along well with others. And that I am sometimes an asshole. Sometimes I wish you guys could see my face because I am doing like the best 60s housewife big smile. I'm like, ah! But you can't. Anyway, back to our job. Okay. Do I love this eye shine? It's okay. Take it or leave it. Actually, I hate it. Alright. Get rid of that. What if we did this? Nope. Like that? This. Nope. This is a lot of art. It's me trying something and then going, nope. Ah! Yeah. Alright. Gonna lower the opacity just a little bit. That was too much. Okay. Okay. What is it? Okay, so that's the whole cup. This is just this. Okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take that and see this. Okay. Did I have copied all of these layers? But that's okay. We're gonna. Aw, thank you. It's more, I mean that, I have a very, very hard time sitting for long periods of time and interacting with people. My social battery is very, very small. It is minuscule. My social battery is like an old flip phone battery from 2004, that's been in a basement since 2004. So, if it's not plugged in, it's 5 minutes away from dying. But, like, so I try very hard to play with people that I know and that I like, that I care about. And so far, you guys have been the only ones who haven't made me want to, like, murder them afterward. Okay. Now, we just have to shrink this down to be the size of cup. I liked having the funeral. We had a funeral in our D&D campaign for a character, for an NPC on an escort mission that we accidentally got killed. And I was like, alright, we're gonna do this all the way. Ah. Alright, I think this is the right size. Might be a little too big still. So, she died. We had an escort mission and we had to go and we had like an escort guarding mission. She was like the daughter, like part of the League of Assassins. She was like the daughter of the leader of the League of Assassins. And she was about to be assassinated by the League of Assassins. And we had to go rescue her from this cabin. And there were guards, and I was trying to lure the guards out because I'm a bird. So I'm trying to like lure them out away with my flute fang. And by being invisible. And it kind of works, it almost works, but then the assassins show up anyway. And I almost die, and my brother's character almost dies, and then the cabin that she's in gets set on fire. So my brother's character runs in to get her, while Art and I's characters are trying to like fight the horde of cultists that have come to murder her. And my brother's character is running, and he's got her like on his, like he has her thrown over his shoulder, and two of the assassins pull out crossbows, and a couple of the arrows miss, but two of them did not. And we essentially realize she's dead, and none of us can resurrect people, so we book it back into town and we take her to the nearest church. We try to get her resurrected, but we don't know her name. So we can't resurrect her because you need someone's name. So I'm just like, all right, funeral time. And it was a little bit of revenge, but it was definitely like, and we commissioned a stonemasons to build a statue of her. So the original idea was we'll have this huge funeral, right? I spent all of my money on it. I went to zero. Okay, I went from like 900 gold to zero for this one funeral. And we were like, we're gonna have a huge funeral and then people will show up. People will come to the funeral, we'll have the viewing. I forgot to put out the invitation. I was so busy organizing the funeral that I legitimately forgot to be like, oh, and then my character puts up flyers around town. Like, I just forgot. So, yeah. So we had a funeral. That has been one of my favorite parts so far. That sounds really bad. I love a lot of the other parts, but the funeral really was my favorite because it was just us being crazy. I couldn't afford, after doing the whole funeral, and I was like, I need like a statue of a tombstone. I couldn't, come on, I want the right. I couldn't afford like a regular monument. So what I had to do was I had to take Art's character and my brother's character, and we all went out of the town to a nearby like quarry golf thing, and we found the biggest rock we could find, and we used a bunch of spells to get it into town. We dragged it through town and destroyed the streets of the city to get this one statue. It was pretty fun. I really liked it. I'm wondering if maybe I should have left. I know what I should have done. Fuck. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna delete this. Cool. And then we left. We have to go back to that town in a month so that we can check up on the status of our monument. And you bet your ass I'm counting time. Like I'm doing it. I imagine there might have been some DM cringing because he had to price everything out. Like what are you doing, Ginger? What's your character doing? I'm pacing outside the stonemason shop. It's 2 in the morning. I'm gonna be there when it opens. And that was me. I thought it was pretty fun. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do just the flat colors for the Ramen mascot logo, so it's not as distracting. I hit paste. Oh, I know why. Okay. I don't have a ton of D&D stories. And I like some D&D. I'm still trying to convince Art to let me keep this. Thank you, headphones, for telling me that I have a low battery. My headphones might die before the stream is over. Anyway, I'm still trying to convince Art to let me have that CD for 1 month of free internet from Windows 95 that I found at work. He says that we don't need it and that we can't have it, but I want it, and I'm realizing that these emotes are a commission, and he hasn't paid me for it. Payment can be 1 CD. This is the story. There is the story of becoming the heroes of Sling Dyke. Yes! It is an ancient artifact that I hope to one day show my grandchildren. big town. On our way, we stopped in this place called Sling Dyke, right? And we have to talk to like the Lord. The lady definitely seems possessed by something. The Lord also seems possessed, kind of like sluggish. Like, think the brainwashed king in Lord of the Rings. My grandparents are also giving us just stuff they think that we need and that is useful, and it's also correct. It is stuff that we need and is useful. Anyway, so we go to Sling Dyke and we're trying to, I don't even remember what we were trying to do. We were trying to do things, and we had to go talk to the Lord and the lady. I think we needed safe passage or something, or we needed horses, something like that. Anyway, so she's definitely possessed, and she just loses her goddamn mind and starts trying to attack my character, because my character has a pretty face. And I play a dude, by the way. And then and I'm claiming that she's possessed, and the guards are trying to murder us, and the Lord is, or the Jarl is screaming. And I roll really high on a bunch of diplomacy checks and convince the guards to at least not kill us. And talk our way out. And my brother's character, and my brother is usually hit first, ask questions later. I managed to convince him in person as a player to not kill people, but to instead to try to grab the possessed necklace off of the lady. Because I had rolled really high on like my set detect magic spell and could tell that that's what it was. And she was also trying to claw my face off. And I can't even remember what Art's character did. I can't remember what you did. You might have like grabbed her and held her still while we got the necklace off of her. But it was definitely supposed to be like a multi-session interaction where we kind of like looked for clues and we like got information, and we did it in 15 minutes. We were like, ha, done. It was amazing. Oh, you were giving me an extra +10 bonus. Gakko is the DM. I did shout that I declare war. Oh, okay, so Art's character ripped off the necklace. My brother's character tried to rip off the necklace. I did shout, I declare war. I think I shouted that I declare war. I'm like, I can't even remember. Oh, because we were asking for something. Oh, I remember now. So, on the way into town, we were stopped by this giant half-orc druid who said that the Jarl and the people in the town had started taking too many animals and too much wood from the forest than what was originally contracted, right? And my character, who is a druid, my character's a druid bard, and it was like, I understand your plight, and this isn't okay, so obviously this is the call of nature, right? All that good stuff. So when I went to go convince the Jarl to stop being a dick, and he was like, no, and the queen was definitely like, no, or his wife, not the queen. My character's like, then I declare war! Like I was trying to bluff my way into them thinking we were tough. That's what it was. It started with a declaration of war. and then they tried to capture us with the guards, and then I think my brother's character knocked one of them out. And then the lady started, and then I started accusing the lady because I was like, she's acting weird. And then she started trying to claw my face off. It was amazing. I tried really hard to not be a bard character that just rolls high and goes, I convinced the lady. I tried to put a little bit of actual acting into it and be kind of ridiculous. My character's a druid bard, and he claims many sexual exploits. He has probably had none, but he has a crush on all the ladies. He's too scared to ever act on it. Like, he's dumb. He's a dumb boy. Yeah, so it's been really fun. My brother's character is a little dumb and he likes to hit things. My character is Brock! I'm playing Brock! Oh god! What have I done to myself? I'm a Pokemon character. And Art's character is the one actual D&D character that knows what he's doing. Man, it's really fun. Anyway, we're gonna go back to arting when the art. I can't believe I didn't realize I was Brock. I still want to know if your character has a belly button or not. Oh shit. Art's character is a meme character based off of an actual character that exists, kind of, not in real life, but as a character of a very popular franchise. The only person who doesn't know who it is my brother, and he hates it. He's trying to figure it out, and we won't tell him. And he's very upset about it. Amazing. Art is in a constant battle with himself of continuing to follow the reference that his character is supposed to be versus actually playing his character as it's supposed to be played in D&D. Alright, hopefully that is working. I believe that it does. I believe it. But every time he's like, oh, I could do this spell. And I'm like, that spell doesn't sound very much like that character. And he's like, you're right. But it would be so cool. And I'm like, but. Because I know more about Marvel and DC stuff than he does. The only input I ever really give on his character, I'm like, does that fit though? I know that this logo isn't a perfect circle. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be more organic. That's what I'm telling myself as I try to make a perfect circle. You know what else I want to keep that I found at work? I want to keep one of those pagers. Because they're just like AA battery operated. How cool would it be to have a pager? Don't they work? I want to use that. It's not even one of the cool pagers that have like a keyboard. It's literally, I can only get number. So I remember when smartphones first were starting to become a thing, and my mom, she had like a flip cell phone, which she barely used. She hated having it. She hated being so accessible, right? She didn't text. She refused to do text messages. She would just call people. And she had a Palm Pilot. So when my dad finally got an iPhone, like first gen AT&T iPhone, he was like, hey, we can also get you one. And she freaked out. She was like, no, why do I need it? I was amazing. She only ended up getting a smartphone because there was like a 2-for-1 deal, and my dad was like, our daughter needs a cell phone in case she has an emergency at school. And they had a 2-for-1 deal, so my mom was like, fine. And it wasn't even a good smartphone. It literally, like, the touch screen was based on pressure. It wasn't even a regular touch screen. It was when it was ancient. This is not a perfect circle, and that's okay. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. I know! But that thing was like a tiny brick, okay? It was like maybe like 4 inches tall. No, because I think an iPhone is 4 inches. It was small. It wasn't super small, but it was pretty small. I liked having a phone with a keyboard. My like second phone that I ever got, it was one of those phones where it was like the size of my palm, or maybe a little bit bigger, which was like the whole touch screen. And then to use the phone numbers, to put in the phone number, you would slide it up and a little keyboard. And then if you wanted to text, you would slide it sideways and a whole keyboard would come out. And it was so cool. Oh, it was my favorite thing in the entire fucking world. I loved that phone. I had that phone into college. And then I dropped it and the battery fell out. Because it was one of those phones where the battery was removable. And the battery fell out while I was on the bus. When I was getting off of the bus and my phone fell out of my pocket. So as I was stepping out of the bus, the phone fell into the bus and I managed to grab the phone before the bus doors closed, but I didn't notice the battery had fallen out until I got back to my dorm room. And so the phone only worked if it was plugged into the wall, making it effectively useless. And that was my like second week of college. I really want that phone back. Having social media wasn't necessary for me to do networking and find commissions. I would absolutely get rid of all of my forms of social media and just have like a shitty little flip phone. That's what I want with. Or my Tamagotchi cell phone plan. I still think that would be the best cell phone service ever. Where if you want to make a call, they have to hop from number to number. And as you try to call 911, you die if your Tamagotchi can't jump fast enough. Yes, same. I absolutely need a Tamagotchi cell phone. That was a genius idea that I'm gonna save for forever. If I ever win the lottery, with the lottery tickets that I do not ever buy, I'm gonna make the Tamagotchi cell phone plan a real thing. Or it'll at least be an app that you can download onto your regular phone. Then I'll also sell cases that make your big cell phone look like a giant Tamagotchi. If it dies, you're fucked until you raise it to be old enough to learn how to jump again. Cause you let your Tamagotchi die. The fuck is wrong with you? It needed you. Okay, I have to like actually concentrate for a minute to draw this straight fucking line, and I'm laughing too much. Fuck. That's almost a star. That's terrible. That's not even as close. Okay. The people who made Tamagotchi, I need to talk to them. Because I have ideas. And their demographic is just 2 weirdos in the US. And like every middle school girl in Japan. Fucking shit. Yeah, this is my call to Bandai. Call us! Yeah, I'm just gonna use this stupid line tool. Hate myself for doing it, but I'm gonna drop it down to 10. Look at that. Did it. Through a straight line. Feels like cheating. I'm sighing really big to get enough oxygen in my brain. Actually, that's just how I feel sometimes. I didn't realize it was weird until high school when I started talking to more people. And they're like, why are you so sad? Like, I'm not sad. Why do you think I'm sad? You're sighing all the time. No, that's just how I breathe. It's more just like sometimes I think I will forget to breathe, or I will, to a certain extent, forget to take deep breaths and just take like small ones because I'll be concentrating, which happens a lot actually while I'm drawing. You forget to breathe in your sleep, which is when it's dangerous and can kill you. That's different. No, I'm doing it when I'm awake. It's different. Oh God. Yeah, when I first, 6 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, when I first met Art, and I stayed over, I was like, did you know that you stopped breathing in your sleep? And he was like, oh yeah, that's just something that happens. I've always done that. It's fine. I was like, I think that's sleep apnea. And he was like, nah, sleep apnea is when you totally stop breathing. And I was like, that's okay, sure. I was like, you would know your body better than I, someone who doesn't know you very well. That's totally how it went. It's totally how it went. You were like, you just brush it off. You're like, it's fine. I've always done it. It's always been weird. It's fine. I was like, okay, fine, sure, okay. Years later, we're taking you to the doctor. You have sleep apnea. Like, I think his doctor's amazed that he's gone so long without without bringing it up to a doctor. I'm waiting for his doctor to be like, how the fuck are you not dead? I'm waiting for it. I guess that's fair, but you have apparently been sleeping like that since birth? Like, sleep apnea doesn't just, I guess, like, if you gain a bunch of weight, but you haven't and you don't, so. Anyway, it kind of reminds me of the time when I think I was in 5th or 6th grade, and my dad is one of those guys who cannot handle being sick. When he's sick, he just becomes a rage cuckoo on the couch in the basement. And he watches sports, and he sits there being miserable and sick, and he goes from like being asleep to he just, anger disease coma, cuckoo, anger disease cuckoo. And it only usually lasts a week, and then he gets better, right? That's how it works. Well, one time, it lasted 2 weeks. I was in the 5th or 6th grade, and my mom started getting worried, and she's like, you're going to the fucking doctor. My dad hates doctors more than I do, and I have a panic attack sitting in the vaccination chair at Walgreens. Not even getting a vaccination, just sitting in it. Anyway, so he drives himself to the doctor and goes in. They do all the checks and everything, and he's sitting there, and the doctor comes into the room after they've done all the checks and the tests, and the doctor's like, so you have an ear infection in both ears, a sinus infection, and you tested positive for the flu. And I was like, what? And I was like, how did you get here? And my dad's like, I drove here. And the doctor's like, you're not driving yourself back. And then he did. So he had to take a bunch of antibiotics. He was very ill. My mom was very upset with him because she told him to go to the doctor like the first week he was sick. Yep. She was also really upset that he didn't like call her at work to come and pick him up. He was like, no, I didn't want to leave my car there. He's like, then I would have had to go back to get it. And he's like, and I didn't want to do that. It was easy. He's like, I drove there. I can drive back. It was kind of hilarious. I remember coming home from school that day and my mom telling me about how sick my dad was, and I was kind of like, that's so cool. He's so diseased. She's like, no, it is not. Don't tell him that. He just thinks they're red Octica. Where did he get his driver's license? That's like the first thing you learn. Like, as a person being alive. That's the first thing. My mom is a little bit of a very stressed. Both my parents, they're much better now than when I was younger, but they're very stressed out people a lot of the time. They're working on it. I think. My God. Okay. Oh, and he gets migraines. Okay, that makes more sense to me. I will have that happen if I get too hungry. I have to go get tested for hypoglycemia. When I can finally get into the doctor's office, because for some reason my doctor books like 6 months out. Anyway, my brain will just stop processing things. I'll stop thinking properly, and I will stop being able to understand what words mean or what things like stop signs are. And that will happen within not eating for 4 hours. And I thought that was normal. I thought that was super normal because my dad was the same way, and he's like, it's fine just because we have a high metabolism. No, it might actually be because our bodies don't know how to process and control our blood sugar. And it's not diabetes, it's like pre-diabetes. It makes you more likely to get diabetes. Ew. I got to go get the blood test, which I am not excited for. I have a fear of needles. I have a fear of needles, and I have my nose pierced. That is something that people, because I know that I thought it was normal. Anyway, so I have a fear of needles, and I've had this fear of needles for a very, very long time. And my dad also has a fear of needles. My dad has tattoos and more piercings than I do, and he used to have even more piercing. But we're both scared of needles. So when we have to explain that to people, like I'm so thankful for masks because I stopped getting weird looks from nurses. Whenever I went to a new doctor's office, because I moved a lot, and I'd have to get like a flu shot, or they would have to do like some type of blood test for something, I'd be like, hey, don't give me a countdown. I don't want to look at it. Don't tell me when you're about to do it. Just do it. I'm gonna try not to tense up my arm. Fear of needles before and after. Because I have a fear of needles. And when they could see my nose, back when we didn't wear masks to the doctor's office, when they could see my nose piercing, I would get weird looks, and they're like, well, how did you get through that? Painfully. I really wanted my nose pierced. I wanted my nose pierced since I was 3 years old because my dad had his nose pierced, and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. So my dad promised me when I was 5 and could communicate that I loved his nose piercing that I was allowed to get my nose pierced when I turned 16. So for my 16th birthday, my dad took me to get my nose pierced. No, like I've had a moment where I sat down in the Walgreens like flu vaccine chair. I was maybe 14 years old, and it was because the person next to me was getting their vaccine. Like I'd gone with an adult, I was not getting mine, and I started having a panic attack, even though full well I knew that I was not getting mine that day. That's how scared I am of needles. Anyway, so I'm at the tattoo and piercing parlor. It was very friendly. They were very nice. My dad actually got his nose re-pierced that day on my 16th birthday as kind of like, and he did his first so I could watch as kind of like a cool bonding moment. But what I did, so, yes, this is the dad who got hit by a car and did not go to the hospital. He does not like doctors, if you can't tell. Anyway, so I'm in the piercing chair. I've just seen my dad get his nose pierced. And he's like, do you want to hold my hand? I'm like, yes, I want to hold your hand. Why would I not want to hold your hand? And my dad wears leather jackets, and he gave me his leather jacket. I had it on my lap, and I was like holding it really tight, right? I was like holding it against my chest, and I was holding his hand in my other hand. And the lady puts the needle in, like she does like the numbing cream a little bit. She puts the plug up your nose so that they don't stab through to the other side. It's a big needle too. And you breathe in, and then when you breathe out, they put it through, and it was like a popping noise, and it was like I felt like I got punched in the face. It didn't feel like a stabbing motion. Now what happens when you get your nose pierced, similar to when you get punched in the face, is your eyes water. Like you'll just start to cry because it's an impact close to your tear duct. So my dad, when he got his nose pierced, he teared up. He had some water come out, right? He cried a little bit. Not because it hurt, just because it was. You made it very clear. It's not because it hurts, but he's not crying because it hurts. I had been squeezing my eyes so tightly closed when she put the needle in that the water that I did not, no tears escaped until I opened my eyes, and then it just like gushed out. It's like when you take a drink of water and then you suddenly open your mouth. Those were both of my eyes. And my dad. Like, she puts the nose piercing in, and I'm breathing hard, and I let go of my dad's hand. I had almost broken his finger. Like, he wore his wedding ring on that hand, and he had, like, a deep bruise on either finger, on either side of his wedding band because of how hard I was crushing his hand. So. And that fear did not go away. My parents were hoping that, my fear of needles would go away if I got my nose pierced because I'd be like, oh, they're not so bad. No, it did not go away. I just learned that my vanity and need for piercing is stronger than fear. If I want something bad enough, I'll let someone put a needle in my face. I still have that nose piercing. It's in my face. Right now. God, I've almost had it for 10 years. Jesus fucking Christ. I've never broken a bone, but I've had to get stitches. So, I've had other needles in my face, and they were not for good times. They were for stitches. I want to get tattoos, but they are expensive. So all I have is this nose piercing. I also want to get my tongue pierced, which is a fun conversation to have. So, my dad has his tongue pierced, and my dad has had his tongue pierced since before I was born. Makes sense. Fear of getting stuck in small spaces, going to the blood and bleeding out. See, I'm afraid of those things too. I'm just also terrified of doctors and needles. You come at me with a white lab coat, and I might scream. Anyway, yo. Shit, fuck, what was I talking? Oh, my dad has had his tongue pierced since before I was born. So I always thought tongue piercings were really cool as a kid. I did not know what they were for. Okay? I just thought they were cool. My dad had one. And so I wanted to get my tongue pierced. My dad's like, well, you have to wait until you're 18 to get your tongue pierced. And I was gonna get not a fear of heights, but a fear of hitting the ground. Yeah, that's fair. You don't need to be very high up to hit the ground and die. And my dad had like the loop and the bead for his tongue piercing, as people who give head will do. So that's what that's for. If you don't give head, but you do the other oral sexual acts, you get the bar with the bead on the tongue. Great texture on the tongue. Anyway, so yeah. So I wanted to get my tongue pierced, but they're expensive and very scary. Another thing is that your tongue will swell up for close to 3 days. So you have to take like 2 or 3 days off of work before and after. My channel is rated M for mature. Anyway, but not a lot of people get tongue piercings anymore. And we were at a family holiday. This was actually the first family holiday where Art met my family. And Art was well aware of the fact that I wanted to get my tongue pierced. And, like, I've never hidden it. Everyone's known I wanted to get my tongue pierced for forever because I was a child. And I didn't know what it meant for a long time. And then when I did know what it meant, I'd already told everyone I wanted to get it. So it was a little too late. And one of my uncles, my grandmother's brothers, he's a very funny guy. And he was laughing about how my dad still had his tongue pierced. Like, nobody does that anymore, right? And Art, this was the first holiday Art was ever around my family. And my mom was right there, and my mom was like, oh, Ginger wants to get her tongue pierced. And my uncle, like, his eyes got big, and he looked at me, and he looked at my mom, and then he looked at my dad, and then he looked at me, and then he looked at Art. And he was like, do you know what those are for? And I was like, I know what those are for. He's like, are you sure you know what those are for? I was like, do you know what they're for? He goes, I know what they're for. I was like, well, maybe you should tell me what they're for so you can make sure I know what they're for. And he was like, you know what they're for. And then he looked at Art and he was like, you're very lucky, man. I was like, what the fuck? Oh my god. And that's my family. Art just sat there trying not to die. He thought it was the funniest shit in the world because my face turned tomato-ass red. Ridiculous. I'm trying to make, like, bands to color in a bit. You just let 8K Elden Ring version of Souls. I feel nothing but pain now. 8,000 rejected. Art's not. Art went to bed. He was feeling tired, so he went to sleep. And he's not gonna watch this video later, so you can tell me all the spoilers you want, because I'm not gonna play Elden Ring. You're very safe. You guys are safe. Because I won't tell, because I don't want to ruin it for. Oh! I almost said the word out loud. Actually, one of my favorite comic artists did a small strip about Elden Ring. That's fair. I've heard the game is really good, but so one of my favorite comic artists, Shen's comics. He also used to do Owl Turd comic. he did a short one that he posted to Instagram where it's like him but really small, and it's a I think soft games or something. that's fair. I would assume that everything is also a spoiler for Earth because he's done really well with avoiding everything. Anyway, so this big Ubisoft person comes up and he gives him this tiny sword and shield, and little Shen's like, what am I supposed to do with this? Fight God. Oh, yes. So, Art and I last weekend, the reason I couldn't stream was because we went out of town to visit my grandparents. And part of that was on Saturday night, we went to dinner with all of my grandmother's brothers. She has 3 brothers, and it was all of them and their wives, and I've gone to holidays with all of them, so they're very much like, you're a corpse again. They're just like uncles to me. I guess in some people's families they make a distinction between like their parents' siblings as their uncles and aunts, and their grandparents' siblings as like their great aunts and their great uncles. My family is just my family. Anyway, so they all like to give each other, members of our family, and anyone brings home so much shit. And Art takes it all in stride. He loves to throw it right back. He's very clever, and they think it's the funniest thing in the world. They love it. They love him so much. So of course there's two of them. I'm gonna call one of them the wild one, Uncle Wild, because I don't want to like out them on the internet. I'm gonna call the other uncle the calm one, Uncle Calm, and the other one is Uncle Quiet. Like I'm related to the 7 dwarfs. Anyway, so Uncle Wild is the wild one who made the joke about the tongue piercing, and he's being loud. He's having a good time. It's great. He's sitting at the far end of the table, and he's sitting near his wife, my Uncle Calm, who is the oldest out of all of them. My grandmother is the second oldest. Uncle Wild is the youngest out of all the siblings. And then there's Uncle Quiet. And Art and I are sitting in between my grandparents and Uncle Quiet and his wife. And my Uncle Quiet, he's a very angry, gruff old man. He's just very much like I have to take a drink. He doesn't come to a lot of family holidays, and when he does, he doesn't talk a lot. He's not the studious kind of quiet. He's like the angry hermit old quiet kind of quiet, right? Very much like myself in the morning before coffee. But what he does like to do is give people a hard time. Such is our sport. So he's sitting next to Art, and he's never met Art before. Because he's a bit of a hermit. He spends the entire night giving Art and I as much shit as possible. And Art is taking it fantastically and all in stride. And at one point, I get up from the table to go use the restroom. My grandmother goes with me, as we women folk will do sometimes. We will all go together. And she's like, I have never seen your Uncle Quiet talk so much. And it was really cool. So yeah. And Art had a good time, and I had a good time. It was really great to see all my uncles, because I haven't seen any of them since 2020 because of the pandemic. So yeah. So it was actually a lot of fun. Yes, we were very good with it. And my grandma said it helped a little bit because she's the oldest girl, and she's the only one girl who like keeps in touch with her brothers. And so usually she's the one who gets teased a little bit more. So she was like, I'm glad you guys came. They weren't teasing me this time. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. And like half of my family in, I want to say 7 or 8 years, and I'm perfectly fine with keeping it that way. I do not miss that half of the family, but my paternal side of the family is very close, and I really like that. Oh no. Well, you guys live in different states, I mean, but I mean, you don't have to talk about that if you don't want to. That is, yeah, I hear that is pretty normal, like, as you get older, and that's pretty normal with most families. Part of the reason I think why my family is so close is because of the pandemic, because we all started doing these weekly Sunday Skype calls, and we just haven't stopped, and I really like them. It helps. Yeah. Biggest Hermit Award! I will fight you for that, Spectre. Well. My family is pretty spread out over the state. But yeah, most of us do tend to stay in the home state. One of my grandmother's brothers, he lives in Minnesota now. That is Uncle Calm. He's lived in Minnesota for many years. Actually, I think he's lived in Minnesota for most of my life. So it was extra nice to see him too, because I haven't seen him very often. I don't know, I like having a very close family, and I like being in my home state. There are a lot of problems with it, and I do want to like live in and move and experience other places, but my family has had roots here for over 150 years, so you have one, okay. That is pretty far. I have a cousin who's living in Philadelphia for the next year. He is Uncle Wild's youngest son. And he's the closest cousin I have to my age. And he does a lot of different like contractor work. I don't know what his exact job is, but he travels a lot. And then yeah, other than that, most of my family, one of them's in Minnesota, and I think the rest of them are just spread out over Michigan. I don't like how any of this is going. We're just gonna get rid of it. Okay. I don't know. It makes me really happy to have a close family. I would like to keep my family close for as long as I live. Yeah, my family has lived in Michigan for over 150 years in the same town. So in the tiny, tiny village where my great-grandmother's house is, and where my grandmother grew up, which is right next to the town where she lives in, I want to say when I was in like the 5th grade, they had a like 150-year celebration because the village, it is legitimately a village based on population size. It had been around for 150 years. So they did like a scavenger hunt around the village, and part of the scavenger hunt was finding this old map in like the small town history like museum, right? And the map was 150 years old, and it had my great-grandmother's maiden name on a large plot of land, and it was like her last name estate. So my family, at least that part of my family, has been in Michigan for over 150 years. And my paternal last, like my maiden name, my father's last name, it is a city in Michigan. It's a, I don't want to like give it away, because it's actually super unique. it was a Native American name, and my aunt, one of my dad's sisters, she was able to trace the last name all the way back to like the third son of one of the chiefs that lived in Michigan in the area that is named for our last name. So I have an old Michigan family. And I think that's really cool. I've also heard every joke there is about my last name. Every single one. Do not try. Do not try. They are not entertaining. It's also a very weird last name for people to try to make jokes about. No, my dad's paternal grandfather, my great-grandfather, was actually one of the elders in the tribe, in the town where, because the town where my dad grew up is really close to the reservation. He was an elder in the tribe there. It was pretty cool. I did not get to meet him, but my dad and him were pretty close. Now that I've given so much personal information out onto the internet, I'm gonna keep trying to draw these stupid squirrels. I can't even remember how I did this shit. And my headphones died a little while ago, so I can't even listen to music right now. You guys are the only ones enjoying the lovely music. Just make sure it's on the right playlist. Okay. Looks like it. Big stretch. Oh wow, I can't believe it's only 9:50. It feels like I've been drawing a lot longer. And I've only done 2 emotes! Oh god! Jesus Christ, alright, well. Well, then. I guess we don't have like a ton of emotes left. It'll be fine. Aw, thanks, Ventus! Excited for them. There are some changes I want to make, but I'm probably going to do those changes like all at once after I finish all of them. I'm really excited to be able to use these during like art streams and in the Discord. Ah, these are going to be so cool. Something really dumb that I know is really dumb, but I've always wanted to do is I want to be the person who designs like emojis. For like the Facebook Messenger or Instagram or just like the Android phone, I want to design emojis because they are so cool. They are tiny, tiny pictures, and that the closest I can get right now is doing emotes. It's like when you see like the mini boxes of Cheez-Its at the grocery store. Do you ever just you just need to buy them because they are small. Because they are smaller than normal Cheez-Its, they're small. That's my brain. Just a peek inside my mind. If it is smaller than it is supposed to be, I will. That could have been a dick joke, is what I'm realizing. Your stream is rated M for mature. monster manual, but like, if I had a pocket-sized monster manual, you bet your ass I'd carry that everywhere. Ah, so cute. So small, so cute. Okay, and now I have to do the steam. Tiny mini books that are, so, I had an American Girl doll. If you don't know what that is, congratulations. Anyway, I had an American Girl doll. And American Girl dolls, they all had like biographies, they all had a small book series about each one of them with like personality, about their lives and history, blah, 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 right? But when you bought the American Girl doll, they also came with a tiny mini book. They are very creepy. A tiny mini book of their first book. And it was so cute. I almost wanted the tiny mini book more than I wanted the actual doll. I did love her though. I had Josefina. Josephina? Yeah. She was awesome. And I did not play with her enough. Because I have this stupid thing where if I love something too much, I'm like, don't touch it, just put it away. Keep it safe. Use it only for special occasions, and then that special occasion never comes. Like, I have that about sweatshirts. I'm like, why don't you wear this sweatshirt? It's your favorite sweatshirt. I can't. I must keep it safe. I must keep it nice. Why? You never wear it. I must keep it nice for special occasion. What is the special occasion that you're going to wear a sweatshirt to? Like that, that's my brain. It's really dumb. I'm trying really hard to work against it, where I'm like, I love it, it's my favorite thing, and I never wear it because I keep trying to keep it nice, so I'm just gonna wear it because it's my favorite goddamn thing. Yeah. To a point where, like, my dad will do the same thing, where if he likes something a lot, he will try very hard, like, to use it sparingly, or he'll put it in, a way so that he can look at it. Like, he'll take it out, he'll look at it, and then he'll put it away, protect it. My mom made him a king-size quilt. Like, she planned out all the colors, she just came up with the pattern, or, like, chose the pattern, bought the fabric, cut out all of the shapes, did all of the sewing. She paid someone to do the backing for her, because she needs, like, a kind of a special quilting machine to do that. She made him a king-size quilt, okay? He only uses it when he, like, really wants to, when he's not eating, when he's not drinking anything, when he's wearing clean clothes, when he's showered that day. He showers every day, so it's not really an issue. And when he's like the only one using it, when he's completely alone, like in the basement, because he doesn't want anything to happen to it, he doesn't want it to get dirty, he doesn't want to risk getting a stain on it. And other than that, he like keeps it put away. So my mom has barely seen him use it. So she tried to complain to me about it at one point. Like, I was on the phone with her, and my dad was kind of in the background, and she's like, he never uses it. And I was like, okay. Does he keep it safe? Like, I was trying to explain to her, I'm like, that's what I do. I was like, I try to anything I love, I try very hard not to use so that it stays nice forever. And my dad's like, she gets it! Because you love it so much, you want it to last forever. She kind of understood. She kind of got it, but she was like, I still just want him to use it. She's like, just prove to me that you like it. Just use it. He's like, I use it. I use it. It's very cute. That's how I am about things. lines don't have to be perfect because they are sweet. Theme is not perfect. Theme is not meant to be perfect. Oh, so I've been listening to some of the free books on Audible. Audible was like, hey, do you want Premium Plus membership for free for 3 months? I was like, yes, I fucking do, thank you. And when you do that, they listen to the premium catalog, which is like books that they have kind of for free, which is super cool. And I listened to one, it's called The Grand Hotel, and it is amazing. Pretty sure it's narrated by the guy who does the narration for the Word Girl cartoon on PBS, and he's got like this kind of like deep flowy voice, and it's such a good book. So if you need something to listen to or read and you like things that are a little creepy, read The Grand Hotel or listen to it. Listening to it is also an awesome experience. There's not really a lot of gore. It's more just supposed to be like thoughtful kind of creepy. It's creepy. It's not super scary. It's just creepy. There is another book I listened to called Horror Store, but it's like HORRORSTO with the umlaut, which is like the 2 German dots R, because it's supposed to be kind of like Swedish, right? Which is a horror story that gets very gory and very graphic. But it takes place in an off-brand IKEA, and it's fantastic. It's kind of like a satirical, like kind of comedy horror almost. It's also pretty great. It's not as good as The Grand Hotel, but it's pretty great, and that one's more funny. Yeah, I listened to them at work, and I was listening to The Grand Hotel at work, and it was great. It was awesome. I was like, oh, this is so good. And then I started listening to Horror Story, and it gets to some of the graphic parts, and I can handle graphic things. But some of the details, my brain was just like, I don't want to show you this image, but you're gonna hear about it, so here you go. And I was like, oh no, this is not good. I am at my job. So yeah, no, don't get rid of them. Okay. Ramen. I know I should probably have the steam like continue to go, but I am not going to do that. Okay, well, if you have Audible, I only got Audible because Mr. Creepypasta on YouTube, he does a YouTube series called Tales from the Gas Station. Well, Tales from the Gas Station has been published into a series of books. So far, there are 3 regular Tales from the Gas Station, and then one called Bedside Manor. It's written by the same person. It's got the same characters. It's just kind of like an in-between the 3rd and 4th book. 4th book is not out yet. I got Audible just so I could listen to those books, because Mr. Creepypasta does a really good job of it on his YouTube channel, but the books are slightly different than the narrated stories on the YouTube channel, because the narrated stories on the YouTube channel are supposed to be in a sort of blog post format, while the books are in like a regular novel, like first-person narration, and they're so good. Oh, they're so good. They're a little creepy, which is what they're supposed to be, but they're mostly just weird, and they are so good. I highly recommend them to anyone, to everyone. Listen to the Tales from the Gas Station. I'm not gonna fault you for that. Art doesn't handle creepy stuff very well either. So he's never listened to them either. But if you ever get in the Halloween mood, they're not super creepy. They're really more just weird. Like, it's supposed to be weird. I would say that the free YouTube blog narrations, they do get a little creepier. But they tone down a lot of the creepy and just do mostly weird in the book series. And it's still really cool. Okay. We're gonna do the noodles first. No, we're gonna do the cup first. And we're gonna do the cup as this tinted blue off-white. I love creepy stuff. I've loved creepy stuff since I was a small child. Nightmare Before Christmas was my favorite movie growing up, before it was cool. Before all of the hipster chicks were like, I love Nightmare Before Christmas. I actually loved it. And they're just as valid for loving it later in life. I just hate that it became mainstream. Anyway, so Nightmare Before Christmas, my dad had skulls everywhere. He had a doe's deer skull hanging from a chain of Buckeyes that he bought in New Orleans during Mardi Gras before I was born, hanging from the rearview mirror of his car ever since I was like, could sit in a car seat. It was a real skull. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I was not allowed to touch it because it was delicate. Even though it almost cracked his windshield. And so I grew up around a lot of like creepy kind of stuff, which I thought was just normal. Apparently it's not. So I love it. I love the creepy. I love the weird. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna do some like gold accents on the cup. And the way we're gonna do gold accents is we're gonna start with like kind of like this. Yeah, this would be a little bit more of a mid-tone. Or well, this maybe just there we go. This is good. And then we'll add the shine, and that will make it look. So then it just looks like a weird kind of like brown. Oh no. What have I done? I've done a bad. Ah, okay, I guess I did. Cool. I want to do more creepy kind of horror art, and I will, eventually, when I finally stop drawing all of this. getting upset at me. I just need to go get my hair cut. It's very long. It keeps getting in the way, so I'm gonna get layers cut into it. It'll look even poofier! Hooray! Huzzah! Still have my college ID when I was a freshman at 17, and it's almost horizontal. It takes up more space in the picture than I do. It's insane. Alright, now we're gonna do the blue part. I know I said that like blue should not be on food, but it's okay as an accent color, and I'm nope, not that. Not quite. I'm gonna go with that shade. That looks good with my eyes. Not gonna sneeze in the microphone. I'm not going to sneeze in the microphone. You ever have like a sneeze stuck like in the back of your nose where like it wants to come out but it's not, and you just have to sit there with it? I hate it. I hate it. Like I need to sneeze but I can't sneeze. Alright, now we're gonna do the full trick. Aha! This will make things take a little bit longer, but I think it will be worth it. Probably something else, but Oh, so for my YouTube speed paint videos, I'm trying to add audio dialogue where I talk about like the art and my process and all that good stuff. I need another drink. My throat is going out. But I also shit. There we go. Where I also have to talk about the like theme of the project and all that good stuff. But I'm also trying to do the subtitles, and I tried doing the auto kind of subtitles with the Adobe Premiere, and I essentially would have just had to rewrite all of them. I don't know if it's just because I don't talk very well or what, but the automatic transcription services were like, we don't know what the fuck you're saying. So I have to do it all by hand. I'm transcribing my own fucking words, and dear God, it's awful. I'm like halfway through the first video. But hopefully I'll be able to do it in all of my videos in the future. I'm actually really proud of myself for doing the transcribing and like working on some video editing stuff, even though it's very minor video editing type stuff. Really proud of myself for putting in the effort to make more quality content and try to go the extra mile. And because YouTube does not do auto subtitles. I thought they did. They do not. Like used to do it and have taken it away since, but you have to put them in manual. Let me see. That's the effect that I want. I've been working on a comic idea. Another comic idea. I have lots of comic ideas. But this one is a short one. It is creepy. It is horror. If I do it, I will probably try to do it for like Drawtober and post a page of it a day. It's about a hiker who gets lost in the woods, and that's all I'm saying about it because spoilers. That'll be really cool to do after Mermaid. On top of all the other projects that I'm trying to fucking finish. So many projects, so little time. my god, we have like about 10 minutes left. Does anybody have any questions? Some art question about process or anything they would like to know or ask or are curious about? Probably not, but some of the speed paints that or videos that I plan on putting out soon will be like some basic art tutorials, which will be fun. I think they will be cool. I don't have anything interesting that has happened. Nothing much, which I'm perfectly fine with. I'm glad you had fun. Thank you for hanging out, Gecko. I'm really worried about my voice going out before tomorrow's stream. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna try and stay up and do some extra work on the emotes that I'm hopefully gonna have them done before I have to, before May. I have to start getting ready for Mermaid, which will be super fun. Very excited. I have many plans. Many plans. I also still didn't get to do the Funguary challenge for February, where I draw a different type of fungus for each week in February. I have plans for that too, and that'll still happen. It'll happen late, but it'll still happen. Oh wait, that's Mission Impossible and that's copyrighted. I can't hum that on stream. Not allowed. No bueno. Alright. Lots of energy drink. I've almost finished this. Yeah, I think it looks cool so far. Now we just need to do the noodle. And then this. Oh, and the plate. You're expecting 3 to 6 inches tonight. Jesus Christ. Buy a snow shovel. That scares me a little bit. Michigan will do that sometimes, but it scares me when it happens in other states. Because Michigan is allowed to be a bitch. Other states, you're supposed to be more stable than us. You're supposed to be temperate. Ah. shovel. Get them on Amazon. They are collapsible. Please, baiting. You'll be the one person on your street with a snow shovel and you can shovel all the old people's driveways. Because they don't know how. They've never had to. Trying to get like the right golden Hugo color. Ah, okay. You're gonna wanna put God cut paste rather than. Fine. I'm gonna get rid of the white for right now so that I can do the noodles. Yeah, I mean, so that you can at least get your car out of the driveway so that when they plow the roads, you can remember that to take breaks, that you can dehydrate really fast when you're shoveling your driveway because you're sweating and you're also like old, like just be careful. Drink a lot of water. Treat it like you're mowing your lawn on a 110-degree day, essentially. Drink tons of water, over prepare, take lots of breaks. But do not fall asleep in the snow, you will die. And remember, don't sit in your car. What is the... Oh, that's true. Another thing to remember is, don't get in and start your car when it snowed. You have to make sure that the snow is not blocking the tailpipe that lets out all of the carbon monoxide, because the snow, when it falls, even just settling like around it, will block the tailpipe, and all that carbon monoxide will go into your car and you will die. So don't sit in your car with the car turned on unless you are absolutely sure that the entire back of your car and like the ground on the back of your car is clear of snow. It's no fun. Children die, adults die. Don't fucking do that. And you don't even know you're dying. You'll just start falling asleep. If you've never gotten carbon monoxide poisoning, you get really, really tired and you have a hard time concentrating. And it sits in your lungs, so even if you get out for fresh air, you'll still die. Oh god, that's actually illegal in Michigan. That is against the law in Michigan, which is such common sense here that I did not know it was illegal until someone pointed it out to me, and I was like, well, that makes sense, because even though it's common sense, there's gonna be people who are dumb enough not to do it. Is it against the law there too? God, people are just dumb. For fun, we call it a smoke screen when they still have like snow. No baiting! Take all the snow off. You take all of the snow off. You take it off the mirrors, you take it off of the back windows, you take it off of your rear windows and off of the roof. Take it off of the roof. Because what'll happen is like a weird smoke screen effect. And you won't, it'll block visibility for the cars behind you. No, take it all off. All the snow. Snow is evil. Snow is nature's way of trying to weed out the weak during the off season. Just like it's not summer, I can't use the sun to kill you. Yes, it's time for snow. You can suffocate in the snow, which is insane to me because it should be light and fluffy like cotton, like it shouldn't. There should be air bubbles and air pockets. But if you heat stroke. You've had so much heat stroke in your life that you're immune to it. You're just like, do it. Do it, son. Try me. I I would die in a southern state. I've been to southern states, and my mom basically just dipped me in sunscreen every hour. Like kids with ranch on their pizza, just bloop. All right, we can go outside. Hour later, come back. Bloop. I very much have to. So my dad, he's not quite ginger, but he is just as pale and sun sensitive as me. So he would, we went to Florida when I was very young. He put on a lot of sunscreen. He did not put on any sunscreen on the part of his forehead where his hat would cover, because his hat covered it. He was like, it's fine. And he didn't want to get sunscreen on his hat and damage his hat. My father. And we went through the Everglades on like one of those big fan boat tours. He was sitting in the sun all day. Underneath the hat, just a stripe of cherry red. Like dark northern Michigan cherry red. Where the hat was supposed to be covering that he didn't put sunblock on. The rest of him, pale as paper. It was hilarious. Actually, my dad had skin cancer very briefly because he didn't like wearing sunscreen, and they did a skin cancer screening for free at one of the places he worked when I was in 3rd grade, and they found some in his cheek. It was just a very small tumor, and they were able to take it out and sew him up. He doesn't even have a scar. They didn't even put him under for it. They just numbed his face. And I remember him describing the sounds of the tumor getting taken out. He was like, he told us it was like a shh when they kind of opened up his face, and it was a and then they sewed him back up. I should probably get screened. I'm very pale and I have a lot of freckles. I didn't need Alright. It has come to the end of the stream. I am very tired. But I'm really happy that we got to hang out. We all got to talk. Thank you so much for saying hi, Fading, Spectre, Gecko, Ventus, Livid Lemming, and Try Hard, and Absortio. And I shouldn't be forgetting anyone. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming by and hanging out and saying hello. And I had a really good time. Thank you for everyone who stopped in, even if you decided not to say hi in chat. That's fine. I will be back tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be doing more emotes. So yeah. Alright. See you guys later. Bye.